pretty solid start, I'd say.
Yeah, OK. Let's move on to some of the other games as well. Sunderland against Manchester City as well. That's this afternoon at the Stadium of Light. I just get the feeling, Dom, you're not convinced by Guardiola, are you? You've seen him a bit particularly over the Christmas period.
No, it's not.
His handling of some of the players.
It's not that I'm not convinced about him. I think he's
Convinced about his methods?
No, not convinced about it. I think he looks like he wants to pick fights at the minute with us in particular. I mean, I was at the game on Wednesday night, and he was asked a really innocuous question towards the end about, oh, you picked a really strong team tonight, Pep, you know. And he went berserk, and he was like, oh, you know, I'm going to make a stance for my profession. You need more respect from us. And it was like, well, where's that come from? The team had played brilliant as well. I mean, when he
had that moment about Wenger a couple of weeks ago as well. He said, what about Wenger?
Yeah, and he referenced Klopp this time on Wednesday night. But I mean, if he gets the defence sorted out and he gets the goalkeeper sorted out, they're going to take some stopping, because when Sané, Sterling, De Bruyne all clicked, they played 10 minutes. The Huddersfield just couldn't see which way they were going. But
just picking fights with the media, I mean, well, Man City fans say, well, who cares if that gets results, if that's what works? No problem.
No, I understand that, but he was really prickly on a couple of things, particularly about the goalkeeper situation, and that was odd on Wednesday night when you couldn't get away from it. Bravo came out and caught one, and then there was the ironic cheers, and you think, oh, hang on a minute.
Didn't he say Bravo had an unbelievable game or something?
Yeah, and he said it as well at the game with Huddersfield in the first one. He said it amazing and brilliant, and I think, you know, he wasn't.
Sean, what about his handling of Aguero? Because this is really confusing, isn't it? About there's some positioning going on here, isn't there? Ahead of.
Look, I think we all find it very strange that a player who scores goal after goal after goal, and really every time he's on the pitch you think he's going to get a goal, wasn't getting into the team. Look, I get all the arguments about Gabriel Jesus. He's clearly a very good player, but you feel you've got to get Aguero in there somewhere. You can't not. Equally, look, he has had a discipline problem, so maybe it's a message to him there, but it doesn't feel like they get on. I mean, it really doesn't, and it feels like Aguero will have to move on, which I think will be a big shame, because I think he's been one of the outstanding players in the Premier League for years, even though he hasn't been recognised by PFA or Football Writers, which is frankly astonishing. But he hasn't been. Anybody, you were talking before about who in Europe would snap him up if he's on the market. Goodness me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sign him up.
Well, it was, again, really interesting on Wednesday when he was talking about him. He said it was Guardiola said about Aguero, best I've ever seen him play. Best I've ever seen him play. Yeah, the running, the pressing, that's what I want. But it was like, it went on and on and on. It was like, well, where's this come from? He was very good, but...
Is Guardiola like this and chippy? And he is with TV reporters as well, because he just doesn't understand not understand how it is here, but he was never questioned at Barcelona really, and only really at Bayern Munich for not winning the Champions League, but by and large it was fairly serene. Here, of course, there's issues almost every game.
I think he was highly strung in Spain, though. If you talk to the Spanish lads, that he didn't get as much pressure, but I think he was...
Well, Mourinho got right under his skin there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He knew that was a weak spot, didn't he?
He certainly did. OK, just want to talk about...